Hello LEGO fans, Bricks Unbound here with another Building Hogwarts update. This is update number 19, I believe, and we're taking a look back at the entrance courtyard. I haven't worked on this, or haven't shown off the work on this since I think it was update 11 several months ago. So it feels good to be getting back to this, and it's actually in a state of not complete, but getting pretty close. So let's spin this around, take a look at it so far. So in the previous update, it was not tiled over at all. This roof section was very incomplete. The outside of the courtyard here had basically nothing there, just minimal supports to hold up the roof section. I have received the rest of the pieces I needed to finish off the roof that goes around the courtyard here. And I think it is looking pretty good. Fairly movie accurate. There's not as many archways here as there would be in the movies, but Lego proportions are not the same as what you can do with sets on movies, especially with green screens and things. But it's still the same scene set up. Everything has just been tiled underneath it here. There's the two benches, and we can see the full design of the courtyard, including this archway here. It obviously doesn't go up all the way. I'm still trying to work out exactly how that sizing and spacing is going to be, because this needs to be able to fit up against the entrance hall and the Great Hall. And right now it might actually be a little too tall to do that properly for the proportions and everything to line up right, but that is still a work in progress. But I've got all the gargoyles up. I am just very pleased with how this is going so far. These roof sections can be removed without issue. They just pop off like that. That way if I need to work on something on the interior I can. Okay, so I am still missing a few pieces on this side. I think actually I received those a few days ago and I forgot that this was where I needed them. I think I was putting them into the bell tower instead. But just pretty basic corridors down there. They're not even tiled over. But that's okay. You won't see those most of the time because of the roof on there. I did do a tiny bit of interior detail here. You can see I just grabbed one of the flags from the Great Hall. Idea being that would be some kind of secret cupboard, or I mean not cupboard, but like closet or something. Possibly even a secret passage that would lead you further into the school somewhere. Obviously that flag doesn't cover it up completely. I just kind of put it there to remind me that I need to find a way to get that covered properly. Let's take some more looks just at the courtyard itself. Looking out behind Dumbledore here. I really like these minifig level views here now that it is starting to look more complete. It really gives you good perspective for the size of it and makes it easier to see if the proportions are looking roughly correct. So you do notice there are lots of stairs back here. That's because, as I've mentioned in previous updates, the way that the courtyard lines up with the walkway around the castle and lines up with the entrance hall, which will be at the same level as the Great Hall here, it just doesn't really work as far as the exterior interior. They don't line up very well. I mentioned in that previous update when I was talking about the courtyard as well. So I need to work on getting it raised up to actually be the correct height or line up with it. Obviously there's rock work under this section. There isn't any under here, so that's gonna bring it up to roughly here, but then I still have that much of a difference to make up. So I'm working on figuring out the stair height for that. Right now it is not enough, so I'll have to probably pull this forward a couple studs and add in some more stairs to get that height a little bit better. It might look a little funny, but really if you get down again to more, if I can see Dumbledore through there, to more minifig eye view, you don't quite have those same issues. It doesn't look quite as strange from their perspective, and the stairs should operate just fine for them. But yeah, the big challenge is always the proportions and getting things to line up, especially with builds this large, I have found, because you can't really just build all of it at once. You kind of need to do it by sections. And starting from the bottom is great and all, but sometimes you just want to see some things that look more complete, so you decide, hey, I'm going to keep working on this section, and then things end up not lining up perfectly. But hey, that's the beauty of Lego. You can always take some stuff apart and rebuild it, and I am trying to build this in sections, so that's fairly easy to do. But really that does it for this update. It's not a super intense update, but it was a lot of building and rebuilding and parts that went into this, lots of waiting for parts. But I am pretty happy with how it has turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments, and please come back for more videos. Thank you for watching.